When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes when the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, We're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people.
Good evening. We're listening, watching from around the world on the Eastern Caribbean. Welcome to the edition of the Make We Talk program. This evening, we're going to have our special guest is former Commissioner of Police and former Chief of the Jamaica Defense Force, Admiral Hardley Lewin. He will be my special guest at 8 o'clock, at 7 o'clock Jamaica time. He will be coming on to speak about body-worn cameras within the JCF and how is it that INDECOM could investigate better if the police were allowed to wear body-worn cameras. Obviously, it has been a topic of discussion on various platforms in Jamaica and in the Jamaican diaspora. This evening, we're going to speak about that. We're going to want to say hello to all those who are watching us on YouTube. On YouTube, on Facebook, and on TikTok. The Make We Talk program is going places. They're on TikTok now. Live on TikTok. Wow. That's good. We're also live on Facebook. To all our listeners and viewers from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean, I want to say good evening to Ambassador Andy Mashiley over there in South Africa, retired ambassador of Interpol, who continue to grace us with his presence right here on the Make We Talk program, and other distinguished ladies and gentlemen who's watching us from beyond the shores of Jamaica. I was told today by my producer that our program go as far as Ethiopia. I know we're in Ghana, but as far as Ethiopia, wow, that's good. I know we're in Zimbabwe too, but I didn't know we're all the way in Ethiopia. I want to say good night or good evening to those who are watching us in Ethiopia, Jamaicans, and friends of Jamaica and friends of the Make We Talk program who is watching us. As I told you before, we're going to have some new things here on the Make We Talk program. New look. You can see the background is a different background than what we have before. Some new things are coming on. And, you know, London, England, how you doing? What time is it now in London? Is it in the morning in London now or what? What time is it now in London? Thank you all for coming on. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. This evening, it's going to be an awesome show where we're going to dig deep in issues facing the land of wood and water. I am expected to have pretty soon a well-renowned prime minister or former prime minister out of the Caribbean. I won't call any name as yet because we're still working on that. Someone who I met a long time ago in Jamaica at the Denver Agricultural Show. I was introduced to him by a family member of mine, and from then he reminds me so much of one of our leaders back home in Jamaica. This man has been preaching about reparation and how we should get reparation from London for our forefathers who was enslaved by so many of the British people who are, I dub them the people of the influence of society, who has enslaved our black brothers and sisters. He has been a pioneer and a champion in fighting for reparation for the Caribbean. And we're trying to get a hold of him to come on. I want to say good evening to my good friend, Dr. David Mohammed, over there in Trinidad and Tobago. He's one of those who continue to fight for the reparation of black people within the Caribbean. And not to mention Professor Vereen Shepherd, who continue to fight also. Professor Rosalia Hamilton, who continue to fight also for reparation for our Black people here in the Caribbean. This evening, you won't get the opportunity to call in to ask questions, but what you'll get the opportunity to do is to call in now or call in later on after the interview with former Commissioner of Police, Admiral Lewin. I know a lot of you have been asking questions about if the police that is implicated in the fatal shooting of Latoya Bulgeon, aka Bujo, who was unalived by the security forces when she dropped off some people to protest another unaliving of one of her family members. You know, I spoke to her son a couple nights ago, along with council troops on the telephone. We're keeping in contact with them, and we're praying and hoping that everything goes well. As we come on air, let me make this clear to you all this afternoon that the Reason with Rattigan program will not be on Saturday. That's not what I want to make clear to you, but that just came up to me. Just remember, the Reason with Rattigan program will not be on this Monday. So we will be on for him to keep the Reason with Rattigan program alive. You know, he is the person we dubbed of Jamaica's fearless leader. That out of the way. Let me make this clear to you now that I often said on this program that what we need in our country is people to stand up and speak out. The late John Lewis of the United States always said we must get ourselves in some good trouble. Get yourself into some good trouble. And by doing so, you're standing up for the fundamental rights of yourself and your fellow men. A short while ago, or sometime today, I got a telephone call from a student of this program here who asked some very important questions. One of them, he said that the police force is not for the people of Jamaica. And I was trying to correct him about it. Many of you have different views on it, and I welcome your views, because not only my views must count, the views of others must count. This program don't belongs to a Jeffrey Tavares alone. This program belongs to you, the people of Jamaica and the people of the Caribbean. Sometimes, as I said before many times, I don't feel like coming on sometimes, but I do come on. It really helped me in a way. Let us, as individuals, get up, get a copy of the Jamaican Constitution, especially a copy of the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom that was newly put in the Constitution for us, the people. I heard some people speaking about the JCF infringing on the fundamental rights of the people of this country. Rightfully so. And that is why all of us, every single one of us, must know our rights, and we must have a copy of the Charter of Rights that we can share with our family members and share with our children. Because I keep on asking this question, what sort of Jamaica we're leaving for our children? If we don't know our rights, and if we can't abide by the rules and laws of our country, yet we can know the rules and law and the rights of the United States and Canada, but we in Jamaica don't know the rules and laws of our own country, makes no sense. So I am asking everyone on this platform here, you can Google the Jamaican Constitution. You can also go down to Sangs's bookstore in Kingston, who lives in Kingston, and you can obtain a copy there. If my memory serves me correctly, yes, you can obtain a copy there. So it's all of us. Every one of us must know the rights of where we live. Many of us don't want to know it. And when I say that many of them want to know it, because you know what, you want to listen to us. Let me make something clear to you. As I always said on this program, it's everything you hear Jeffrey Tavares say, or a Wilfred Rattigan say, you must take it as Bible and verse. Go and do your own research. Go and do your own research. And by doing so, you're educating yourself more. Go and do your own research. It cannot be that you listen to us alone. No, go and do your own research. And as we come on air and we await the arrival of our special guest tonight, former Commissioner of Police, former Chief of the Jamaica Defense Force, a highly respectable man, Rear Admiral Lewin. He wrote an article in the Gleaner that many of us need to go and read. And the article he wrote in the Gleaner is, are they taking us for fools? A very well wrote article wherein some questions was asked of the government of the day. And we must lobby. We must lobby for police to wear body cameras. If there wasn't any CC camera around, when the police unalive that young lady there in St. James, in Granville, St. James, then you'll hear a different story. And my question tonight, why is it taking so long for them to arrest this man? Well-written story, sorry. A well-written story. Thanks for the correction. Wife corrected me, you know. Well-written story. If there wasn't any camera around, you know, no one would have known the true story. And because there's a camera around, people know the true story. My fellow Jamaicans from all walks of life, your human rights is being infringed on. And that is why all of us, it doesn't matter what party we're from, I think it is time for us now to put away party politics and speak for the rights of our fellow citizens and the rights of ourselves. And as we come on air, we must ask ourselves questions. And questions we must ask ourselves based on what is going on in our beloved country. What can we do to change the narrative of Jamaicans and to change the narrative of the citizens and to change the narrative of the police force. First, I think what they need to do, if I apply for a job at the Jamaica Constable Force, a well-researched background check must be done on a Jeffrey Tavares. But you know what is going on? My mama, I can talk in Cayman, they say mama. My mom and my papa, my mother and my father may know some high-ranking people within the JCF. Or my brother may be working there. We pull a string and you come in. And no background check has really done, well, my background check has been done on those people. So, in other words, what we have within the JCF now, it is playing out before our own eyes. But people within the ranks of the JCF are taking the laws to themselves. They are becoming judge, jury, and executioner. And it should not be. It should not be. But that is what is going on. My fellow Jamaicans, we need to put pen to paper and we need to demand accountability from the Minister of National Security, from the Commissioner of Police, from the Prime Minister who's head of the Minister of National Security, demanding that every single member of the JCF, when going out on the road to interact with the public, must have on body cameras. It cannot be. Every minute you hear about a fatal police shooting, then you hear about some shootout. Don't get me wrong, the JCF members of the JCF put themselves in harm's way at all times to secure the people of this country. But on the other hand, it cannot be that members of the JCF is taking the laws into their own self. It cannot be. So tonight, as we await former Commissioner of Police to come onto the program, let us, as Jamaicans, look within ourselves and ask some very important questions of those who are in authority. And call out those in authority to speak out, to condemn the fatal unaliving of this individual. Because there are certain words you can't use both on TikTok and on YouTube, so you have to be careful. Let us come together and ask some questions. I see a petition going around by a well-known blogger who have on this program before, Marvin. I support the petition. Don't get me wrong, I do support the petition. Then I see somebody counteracting what Marvin is trying to do. It is my humble, honest opinion that if the Jamaican people don't put politics away, put away PNP and JLP, and think about this piece of rock. Because you know why I say it? There's a young lady who is counteracting what Marvin is doing, and she said that no well-thinking Jamaicans who are working, no civil servant, I'm going to sign that petition. And it begs to ask the question, that some of us in this country don't think logical. And until certain things reach our doorstep, we will not take certain things seriously in this country. Because all we think about is two things, two political parties, orange and green. And if Aunt Mattie's son or Aunt Mattie's daughter is being unalived by the security forces, it don't reach our doorstep, so we don't care. We need to be our brother's keeper and our sister's keeper. We cannot continue like this as a people wherein if certain things don't reach us, we don't care. It cannot be. It cannot be. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Those who are on TikTok, like up the live feed, give us some flowers and hearts and so forth. As we stand by, it is now 7:28 in Florida, 6:28 in the land of wood and water, from Negril Point to Moran Point. My fellow Jamaicans, we need to wake up in this country. As Jamaicans, we need to wake up. We cannot continue like this as a people. We the people. I wish to God that there'll be somewhere in our constitution that speaks about we the people. I wish and I pray that when they amend the constitution, there is something that put in there that speaks about we the people at the American Constitution. We have a constitution that I often ask the question if this constitution was really made for the people of this country. Because we have some 18th century laws on it. That makes no sense. We have some 18th century laws on the books that need to go. And until we move those 18th century laws and let our people realize that the laws that they put in the constitution or the laws that they're making is for us, the people. But you have the laws that they're making in Jamaica, a lot of Jamaicans are saying it's not for them. Many Jamaicans are saying there's two laws in Jamaica. One for the effluent of society and one for those who live below Crossroad. A lot of Jamaicans are saying that. But it leaves up to us. Like up the live feed, please. Like up the live feed. Give me about 100 or 200 likes. Because tonight going to be an epic night. Tonight going to be a wonderful night. A great discussion going to happen tonight. Are we going to, this is the Jamaica we're going to leave for children? We must ask ourselves the question. Where we don't feel safe coming back home. We don't feel safe going home who lives in Jamaica. Members of the Jamaican diaspora don't feel safe coming home to Jamaica. Many of us are worried of our safety. And when you have a security force that's sworn allegiance to serve and protect our people, But yet many of us are afraid of the security forces. Something is wrong somewhere. Something is fundamentally wrong somewhere. And we must look within ourselves. And we must demand that this government, or any other government, must have the security forces accountable for their action. It has to be one law for everybody. It can't be one law for those who live up in Upper St. Andrew and Beverly Hills and Cherry Garden. And those who live below Crossroad and live in the country areas of our country, there's a different law. It cannot be. It must not be. It must not be. We are the ones who put them there. And we are the ones who must demand that they listen to us. We must demand that they listen to us. I want to play something here for you that former Commissioner of Police, Rear Admiral Lewin, wrote in the Jamaica Gleaner. Listen to this.
Former Police Commissioner Rear Admiral Hardley Lewin has accused the government of crippling investigations into fatal police shootings by repeatedly delaying the full deployment of body-worn cameras during high-risk operations. Lewin charged that the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, is routinely being left with little or no evidence to challenge police accounts after controversial fatal shootings. The witness have been removed, the man is dead, and yet we are expecting INDECOM to do the impossible. It cannot happen, Lewin said. What is happening now is that INDECOM is hamstrung. Lewin was speaking on Wednesday at a Jamaicans for Justice JFJ policy roundtable on body-worn cameras at the Courtleigh Hotel in New Kingston, where the advocacy group unveiled a proposed legislative framework titled From Policy to Statute, aimed at making body cameras mandatory in targeted police operations. The former commissioner argued that despite years of appeals from INDECOM and civil rights groups, successive administrations have failed to act decisively. They are tone deaf. The calls have been ignored by virtue of a host of creative and interesting excuses. Every time a new reason comes up, it's debunked and they move to another one, he said, ridiculing earlier objections raised about cameras having blinking red lights. You get all of these things, them moving the goalpost. But to what end? They take us for fools, he said. According to Lewin, the absence of body cameras
You know, this former commissioner of police is also a former chief of staff of the Jamaica Defense Force. And you know, he don't mince word when he's speaking. And it's true. They're taking the Jamaican people for a bunch of idiots. Listen to what the commissioner is saying, former commissioner is saying.
Camera footage has left investigators heavily dependent on police statements, particularly in operations where officers allegedly remove witnesses before what they describe as deadly confrontations unfold. All officers then provide corroborating statements, but there are no external witnesses and no body camera footage to oppose their version of events, he argued. What is it that we are asking INDECOM to do? They are setting up INDECOM. Lewin also dismissed claims that body cameras are already widely deployed by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, noting that while the police report using roughly 1,500 cameras daily, they are often absent during the most controversial operations.
Exactly. During the most confrontation with citizens and police, body cameras are nowhere to be seen.
When the police goes for a man, cameras must be employed, not for the man walking Market Street, he said. Lewin argued that wider use of body cameras would not only improve accountability but also protect police officers from false allegations and broad public criticism surrounding fatal shootings. The use of force policy is perfect. All we have to do is operate in accordance with the policy, he said. Attorney Latoya Harris, president of the Advocates Association of Jamaica, said mixed signals from the government were also fueling uncertainty surrounding implementation. We hear the Prime Minister saying A and then the Security Minister saying B, and it doesn't seem as if the government itself is on the same road.
Exactly. This minute the Prime Minister say B about body-worn cameras, then you hear something's being said by the Minister of National Security. That makes no sense. Both of them are not on the same page.
Harris argued. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has publicly expressed support for body cameras, while Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has repeatedly suggested that mandatory deployment during dangerous operations may be impractical and could expose officers to greater risk. If the government is not on the same road, then the entire country may have some difficulty, Harris said. The body cameras assist the police because allegations are made all the time against them. With the cameras, they can prove exactly what happened. She argued that broader implementation would also strengthen public trust and demonstrate Jamaica's commitment to human rights. Data protection expert.
You know, I ask the question time and time again. Does Jamaica really want to stem the crime in this country when it comes on to police fatal shooting? Do they want us to go down in the lower rank of human rights? In the sense of people are saying about human rights, infringement of the human rights. For this former commissioner of police, why no? Former head of the Jamaica Defense Force to come out swinging. He doesn't normally come out swinging like this, you know. But for him to come out swinging, it's in the Jamaica Gleaner. Something is wrong. And for him to be saying, are they taking us for idiots? Thought to think. We need to think.
And attorney Chukwuemeka Cameron, however, cautioned that the country must guard against creating what he described as a surveillance state. Whilst we are pushing for body-worn cameras, I want to hear more about the robust mechanism that receives the data, Cameron said. That is where the individual citizen gets recourse. Is there a retrievable system that is persistent, governed, and transparent? Opposition spokesman on national security, Fitz Jackson, and JFJ Executive Director, Michael Jackson, both argued that crime-fighting efforts must not come at the expense of transparency and accountability. In 2010, we had 307 fatal shootings by members of the security forces, and when you fast forward 15 years later, in 2025, it ended at 311, Jackson said. Now we have gotten pushback about the numbers, but we are not looking at the numbers in isolation. We are looking at situations where there are conflicting accounts between law enforcement and citizens. When we raise concerns, it's not from a place where we don't believe the police, Jackson added. But when you have so many conflicting accounts, we must take pause. Key JFJ recommendations. Number 1. Immediate amendment to the JCF policy to, among other things,
You hear? You hear that?
Introduce clearer mandatory activation of body-worn cameras. Number 2. Long-term legislative reform to either insert BWC-specific provisions or enact a comprehensive surveillance regulation act. Number 3. Automatic and timely disclosure to INDECOM in fatal or serious incidents and access to such footage, as well as expedient access to next of kin and complainants. Number 4. Legally prescribed minimum retention periods for footage, for example, 90 days. Number 5. Independent oversight, including mandatory annual audits, compliance reviews, and reporting to Parliament. Number 6. Evidentiary integrity to include codified storage, transfer, and handling standards. Number 7. Sanctions for officers who deliberately fail to comply with body camera orders.
You know, that part that former Commissioner Lewin is saying, you have some police officers who will doctor the body cameras, Will pay someone to go in there and alter the camera itself, the footage of the camera. We're going to hear from former police commissioner pretty soon, Rear Admiral Lewin. He'll be my special guest coming up. We must as Jamaicans stand up for each other. We cannot be divided as the politics suggest. We must stand up for each other. The fatal unaliving of a Jamaican citizen by the security forces in this country should not continue to happen. We must call it what it is. And we must demand that the police must be well equipped with body-worn cameras. And the same way, they can investigate a Jamaican, God forbid, who unalive a policeman, locked up. They get him locked up same day. He can't get no bail. I'm no investigator, nor I profess to be one. But it cannot be that the laws for some is not the laws for others. It cannot be. It cannot be. But the laws for some. Sorry, people. It can't be the laws for others. Cannot be. Cannot be. I heard the Prime Minister spoke on the idea of body-worn cameras. Listen to this.
The body-worn camera. And recently I've seen the calls about body-worn cameras. I thought I had addressed it before, but it keeps coming up again and again and again. To be clear, it is the policy of the government to fully deploy camera systems for the police force. Notice I've used the term camera systems. The systems involve closed-circuit television coverage connected to command and control centers right across the island. We are investing in a C5 type center right now as we speak. We are building out Jamaica Eye, so that's a part of cameras. We have some capabilities, but very limited, with putting cameras in patrol cars. That is being spec'd and worked on as we speak. We will see that being rolled out. So the patrol cars will have cameras. And then there are the body-worn cameras of a particular form factor which is placed on the chest of an officer. We have some of that already in deployment, and we have about 1,000 in deployment, and we have another 1,000 in procurement, and we are working on another 1,000 to come. We simply don't have the resources to do it all at once. And even if we got all the cameras all at once, they couldn't be deployed all at once because the training to use them, and then all the backup services, and then the broadband and connectivity that is required for upload and safekeeping in order that the images that are captured are evidentiary. So there is an entire suite of activities that have to be in place before body-worn cameras become universally systemized within the JCF. But I wish to assure the public that it is the intention that this is done, and it has started, and we're giving ourselves 2 to 3 years to have that fully rolled out. So it will become, as it is now, that every policeman has a weapon assigned to them, or every policeman who is deployed to interact with the public will have a camera assigned to them. And so that is being built out. But just to be clear, there has been some discussions which seem to want to suggest that the government doesn't intend that everyone who interacts with the public should have a body camera. That's not the case. The form factor, meaning the design of the camera, can work well in certain situations and certain circumstances. Patrolling a market, doing your traffic stops, in activities where the image is stabilized, where the hand movement is not going to block the visibility of the camera at night. There are circumstances where the body-worn camera, the camera placed on your chest, that form factor, that design works well. But there are other circumstances in which it may not work well, like in some tactical operations. If you're crawling on the ground, for example, the camera would be pointing down. If it's dark at night, if there is smoke, it may not work well. That doesn't mean that the tactical operations would not have coverage by camera. The police force would have to find out the form factor of cameras that suit the particular operation. So for example, they may have helmet-mounted cameras or helmets that have cameras built in. That might be an option. So just to put everybody at ease, there is no intent to say some units will have cameras and some won't. The intent is to make sure that there is this tool of accountability for our officers. And in as far as possible, that tool will be deployed as long as it does not compromise the safety of the officer or the success of a mission. That's the general parameters within which we will deploy cameras. So I want to put Jamaica at ease that we are in the process of deploying cameras. We will deploy them universally as much as possible within the force, but we are building out the systems to ensure that these cameras work and that what they capture has evidentiary.
Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness speaking yesterday about body-worn cameras. They have been speaking about this thing from 2006, Why take them so long? Or taking them so long? For them. To give members of the JCF the ability to wear these things. And simply say to the members of the JCF, if you don't want to wear it, then your job is no longer a part of the JCF. If you can't abide by the laws of the JCF, as a police officer, you don't fit to carry out your duty then. In some modern democracy, when the commissioner or the minister of national security give an order, if they can't abide by the order, then they leave the JCF. Simple. It cannot be that year after year, you hear about how many fatal shootings in this country. It can't be. It's not supposed to happen. I played this couple nights ago. Listen to this again.
3 years. 655 lives lost after encounters with Jamaica's security forces. Behind every number is a mother who never stopped waiting at the gate, A child left, asking why daddy never came home. A sister forced to identify a body instead of planning a future. From 2023 to 2025, the bloodshed rose sharply, 155 killed, then 189, then a heartbreaking 300.
Sorry. Former Commissioner, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I think my producers are saying that no one was hearing me earlier on, so let me do it over. I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't hearing you.
Okay. Let me welcome Rear Admiral Hardley Lewin. Is a retired Jamaica military and law enforcement officer who served as Jamaica's 26th Commissioner of Police from 2007 to 2009. Prior to that, he served 36 years in the Jamaica Defense Force, Chief of Staff from 2002 to 2007. Am I correct, sir? Welcome to the program again, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. Let us start this evening here. Thank you for joining us, sir. To begin, what motivates you, Rear Admiral, to write this article in the Jamaica Gleaner pertaining to fatal police shooting, sir?
Actually, this article was written 1 year ago.
Wow.
This article was published on the 22nd of June, 2025. And all I did yesterday at the forum was to quote extensively from it. I used about 90% of the content
Yes,
at
sir.
the forum yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So all I will say to you is this. What a difference a year makes.
Indeed. Indeed.
But you asked the question, you did ask the question, what motivated me?
Yes.
It came out of concern that, and we have to be balanced now and put things into perspective.
Yes.
The government of Jamaica has invested heavily into our security apparatus. We can see that number of police officers, equipment they have invested, defense and security, technologies, and as I said yesterday, it takes cash to care. You remember Prime Minister saying that?
Indeed, yes.
And they had the ability and they have used it to improve the whole security architecture. And it has begun to bear some fruit in terms of, and let's just stick just to homicides, murders. And the major investments clearly would have a positive effect in terms of crime reduction.
Yes.
Murders. And it has had. And also, we have to acknowledge that a part of the success story when I wrote this article, there was a 44% reduction in murders over 2024. A part of it has to do with the proactive action taken by the constabulary force. Motivated, you have to take the fight to the criminals, because we have to acknowledge that we have within our society some very dangerous people. And let me be very blunt. Some people who the society could well do without.
Yes, sir.
But the fact is, there's a way that we do without them, if you want to put it
Yes.
bluntly.
Yes, indeed.
So I had to be concerned about a certain pattern It is not new, but there's a certain pattern about the reporting in these confrontations between criminals or people that the police have labeled as criminals. In these specially planned operations where the police acting on information or intelligence go after them, a persistent and troubling feature of these confrontations are the standard nature of the police reporting. I can tell you a report right now. Just give them the time, give me the place, I could fill in the rest of the gap.
Go ahead right now, you can talk about it, sir.
It's a standard nature of the reporting and the results. The persons of interest whom they went for end up dead. We have no witnesses, or where there was a potential witness. Let me give you an example. Police goes for, heaven forbid, Jeffrey Tavares. The information is that you're in this particular house. They come at 3 a.m. They have a forced entry, catch you unawares in your bed with your girlfriend. The girl is sent to another room. She then hears 3 explosions. And when she's allowed to come out and look through the window, she see her Jeffrey being taken out hand and feet by policemen to be placed in the back of a vehicle, with the reporting that he pointed a gun at them, and they were forced to defend themselves, and a gun has been recovered. Now, that kind of standard reporting, and when you look at Ukraine, it's a big military conflict, missiles, mortars, guns, and the casualties that you have arising from that conflict. You get wounded people and you have dead people.
Yes.
But in these cases, persons invariably end up dead. So it is of concern. Now, INDECOM, the agency set up by government to investigate and to come to a decision as to whether the police have acted in accordance with their own human rights and use of force policy, which, by the way, is a beautiful policy document. It is a good policy. INDECOM has to investigate and pronounce.
Yes, sir.
INDECOM is hamstrung because all INDECOM has are the reports of whatever number of policemen were on the scene. The person is dead, so he can't speak for himself. And there are no witnesses to tell you what happened.
Yes.
Now, in that case, what is INDECOM to do? The police are not denying that they shot the man. Yes, but he did so and so. That is why they shot him. They claim it was justified, and it's just their word.
Yes.
And all we're saying in these special cases, body-worn camera would be of great assistance to INDECOM in making a determination. Now, it also protects the police because you have police officers who, in other circumstances, let us assume they act in accordance with their own use of force. They acted legitimately, but for whatever reason, there were no witnesses. But they acted properly.
Yes.
They now have a cloud over their heads because INDECOM cannot vindicate them. Because that independent information that would come from a body-worn camera is not available.
Yes.
So we are not arguing with the government who has embarked on a program to roll out body-worn cameras over, I think they say they have about 1,500.
Yes.
But these are being rolled out to areas of low risk. Policemen on the streets. On the streets, you have civilians, you have all kinds of people. You have all kinds of witnesses who are there who will be able to see whatever takes place. So it's a low risk. But in the area where it is critical, where you're less likely to have witnesses and so on,
Yes.
we have not put any cameras there. And it is amazing the reasons that we have been given why it is not so. It is a raft of them, and as you debunk the latest one, another one comes. So the government is on a program to roll out body-worn cameras. You know, they have committed to it. They are doing it. I saw something yesterday where by 2029 they will have so many thousand and so on. But all we're saying is that the urgency is no, because the police are getting there's grave doubts.
Yes.
People don't believe it. People are having controverting. It is not looking good on the police. And INDECOM must be given a fair chance to be able to make a determination. So we're saying policemen involved in these planned special operations where you go for Jeffrey must be equipped with body-worn cameras. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. Test. Yeah.
But former commissioner, let me ask this question though. But if the police refuse to wear the body cameras, sir, is there something within the hierarchy of the JCF saying to them, if you don't wear it, then you don't have a job?
Well, let's not go down that road yet.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is, they're not issued with them on these special operations. So the issue of them not wearing it or turning it on or whatever is a separate issue. But you would expect that there would have to be protocol, rules, and regulations governing it. And other persons who presented yesterday dealt with those. It's not my area of expertise, so I won't even go there. But there has to be rules when you turn them on, etc., how you use them, how you preserve the evidence, and of course, what happens afterwards. And if you run afoul of those rules, there would have to be some sanction. So those would be there as with any other jurisdiction. I would say one more thing though, you know, and let me repeat a point I made yesterday.
Yes.
I don't think that there are many police forces who never had some level of resistance to the introduction of body-worn cameras anywhere in the world.
Yes.
So I don't say that we're unique in that. But all I'm saying is now put it where it is most needed now. Even if, and it can be done. The question is, what are we hiding? What are we trying to keep hiding? To me, it is very sinister. It lacks credibility. Some of the reasons given.
You know, Jamaicans in the diaspora, sir, are very concerned about these fatal police shootings. As a former commissioner of police, sir, what would you say to the Jamaicans in the diaspora now pertaining to all of this? I know you're not commissioner of police, you're a former commissioner of police, but what would you say to us who want to come back home, who want to invest in our country? You know, what would you say to them, sir?
Well, you know, we rely a lot on our citizens in the diaspora.
Yes, sir.
And they play a vital part in our economy. And in fact, Jamaica is still their home at heart. And many would want to come home. So I would not go beyond saying, look, you have to let your voices be heard on whatever the issue is that affects Jamaica. Whatever it is. Because I'm on record as saying, if you see me, and this is me personally, when you see me in a foreign country, I'm either a visitor or a refugee. I
know, nowhere. I heard you say that already, you know, in a private conversation that we had with Dr. Banks. I already said that already for true, yes.
And that's just how I feel. I have encouraged people to return to Jamaica because, yes, we still have challenges and we will continue to have challenges. But I say to people, and quite frankly, I've influenced one or two to return home. And so I am not here to discourage anybody or to scare. And in fact, I'm here to encourage, but we have to put the realities on the table. And what I say to people is that, look, here's some of the challenges. If you own your home here, you have a robust vehicle, you are in fairly good health, or you have some arrangement, you can take a little vacation to a civilized place where taxes are not trying to run you off the road to keep your sanity, and so on. All I say to people in diaspora, don't just pack up and come home. Come down for a month. Come down for 2-3 months.
Yes.
And just see, can I stick with this? But the bottom line to me, and I say to them, despite everything, Jamaica is still the best place to live.
I believe that too.
And that's my take.
I believe that too. Let me ask you this question now. INDECOM don't have prosecutorial, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, to prosecute the police when they find out that something is going wrong in an investigation.
Yes, and they have. They have? Yes. We saw a list of number of prosecutions for whatever the complaint is against the police.
Mm-hmm.
But in the case that I outlined to you,
yes,
INDECOM would be looking stupid in the courts if just on the suspicion, boy, that's storing your sound right and so on and so on. Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence when a number of policemen have given you an ironclad statement to say that the man pulled a gun and they fired in self-defense?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the evidence?
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't take their own hunch and go and charge those people. And that's the crux of the problem.
Yes.
So it leads one to speculate why, when it is well within our means and reach,
yes,
to deal with these special operations where we go after these people, to equip those people specifically so that INDECOM can do their jobs, be enabled, why haven't we done it?
Very good question. As a former commissioner of police, can you answer that one?
Well, I have my own views.
Give me your views.
I have, well, my own views is, of course, you're scaring the criminals to death. But you have a problem there, you know. You have a problem there. Because if you have a policy, it seems to me, of elimination, you know we have had a history of police excessive use of force in Jamaica. We have had that. People would want to tell you, oh, it's not so bad and so on. I don't know. I don't know. But my point is, what is the correlation between this massive drop in murders and police fatal shootings? You cannot have a society where it has become normative to any extent, where the police is police, judge, executioner. Now, and the problem is, you know, many, because look, we have some dog-heart men here, you know, and many of the cases, probably even the vast majority, are justified, but we don't know. We don't know. We have to lift that veil so that those policemen are absolved, and any policemen who are guilty can be dealt with by law. That's all we're talking about.
But Commissioner, Jamaicans are saying that they don't trust the justice system. Even this case here now, where the police is implicated of unaliving Latoya Bulgin in Montego Bay, aka Buju. I had the son on my program a couple nights ago, and when you listen to that young man speak or talk, he does not have any trust in the security forces, former commissioner.
No, you said, okay, fine. You said the justice system where the security forces or the police is just a part of.
Yes.
Right. I thought you were going to the courts and so on.
Well, I'm going to go to the courts, yes. But when it comes on to this young man then, let's talk about this young man then. You listen to him speak, sir. He's very intimidated with the police right now. He doesn't have any trust within the police. When he saw them, you know, what happened, you see the videos. I wasn't there. I saw the videos. If there wasn't any camera out there, sir, what do you think would have said about this now? Say she draw a gun on him or something?
Very, very interesting question. And my answer is that I don't know. I don't know. It would have been more difficult. There were at least civilian witnesses. And let me tell you one thing about witnesses too, because we have some challenges there. And let me tell you quite up front, civilians will lie on the police and the police will lie on civilians.
True.
And this is why you have to have credible witnessing, whether it be of a technical nature, coming from a camera or CCTV, and or credible witnesses who can be tested in a court of law. Which is why it's essential that we follow our use of force policy. I said yesterday, you know, look, I have no problem if 1,000 persons were killed by the police, if they were justified, and we can be assured that those shootings were justified. It's just sad, but the fact is we cannot be sure. And given our history, given the circumstances of these cases, you'd be foolish to just accept the police account, and that's the end of it.
When it comes down to the justice system now, sir.
The rest of the justice system.
The rest of the justice system, yes. Jamaicans are really, really keep on saying that there is two justice systems in Jamaica. One for the people of the effluence of society and one for the people of below crossroad. As a Jamaican citizen, do you think that is so, sir?
Well, first of all, I have faith in the justice system, in the courts.
Yes.
There has been much improvements in the courts. Much improvement. Now, of course, if I can hire a King's counsel and high-profile lawyer and hire all the technical things to defend me, I certainly stand a better chance than a nondescript person who is unable to, probably can't even find a lawyer. But the thing starts from the investigations. And it's going to be the integrity of that whole investigation. And that starts with the investigating person. That's the police or MOCA or wheresoever. And I'd be foolish to say that, oh, it's all are equal before the law. But by and large, I personally trust the justice system. Not because it's the only thing we have, but there have been, I have seen improvements. There's a speed of the cases. There's a lot of work that has to be done. Lots of work that needs to be done. But look, we're not unique, you know. Look at Mark Furman and the case in the United States. Look at the Birmingham 6.
Yes.
Police fabricated evidence to get people imprisoned and so on. So if we have that in Jamaica, and we are not unique, it happens elsewhere, not to excuse it happening in Jamaica. But I'm saying by and large, I trust the justice system. It is not fledgling. I think it is improving. I trust the judges. There are people who are affected personally may disagree, because I've read books written by persons. One person's book was entitled "No Justice in Jamaica." It is born out of that personal experience, and it's a whole conundrum surrounding it. And when you're affected, you speak to the son of, was it Latoya?
Yes.
Well, he'll be very emotionally charged.
True.
And when you're not going to be objective in seeing things realistically. You'd want to see some action happen immediately. You want to see this and that. It has to be investigated It takes time, and when you're personally affected, you can't. Person like myself have to take a little distant view. I have not commented on that case deliberately.
So if I ask you this question, no, Sir Lewin, as a former commissioner of police, if that happened under your watch, would you have gone to visit the family and comfort the family?
You know, any answer I give you, I don't know. The fact of the matter is this. Am I going to make it a point of duty to visit every family who was affected by the police killing or hurting a young one and so on, and make that a policy? So I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay.
Because it's unfair. What I say no, I'm not something I might have done were I sitting there at the time in the hot seat.
But would you have commented on it though, publicly? As a commissioner of police?
No, my comment would be very, very simple. What are the facts? This has happened. X has happened. It will be investigated, etc., and will not cast any comment or judgment as to culpability or whatsoever. The one thing I will say, and it has nothing to do with this incident, no, let's leave that for another time. No, I was just talking about certain procedures and so on, and I have a little concern sometimes.
Yes.
I have a little. I'm trying to wrestle in my head why you stop a vehicle, the vehicle is stopped, and so on. Why is a policeman standing in front of the vehicle?
I was just going to ask you that question too.
We have our narrow roads. The police stop you, and they don't usher you. Not all the time, you know. Sometimes you get a perfect set of what I consider procedures.
Yes.
Where they usher you into a little lay-by, where it exists. We don't have many of those. But at least they see you come as much as you can off the road before they engage you in discussion. But most times you see it stop right there in the lane where you stop. And the policeman goes on the driver's side, which puts him in the middle of the road with traffic trying to go both sides. He puts himself in danger. And I said, and I marvel. Danger from traffic, that is. But you know, let me say something about, just generally speaking, about policing, because policing is not an easy job anywhere. Policing in Jamaica, more so. I said yesterday that policing is one of the noblest of professions. A policeman has to be a protector. He has to be the nurse, the doctor, the driver, the everything, all things to all people. And the Prime Minister hit upon a very important point the other day when he spoke to the matter of police officers forgetting the term now. Police officers suffer from a particular, it's a PTSD kind of thing called hypervigilance.
Right.
Right. Where I was given a book by an attorney at law, Jamaican attorney at law, when I became commissioner. I passed it on to my successor. And it's called Coping with the Stress of Policing, but it was really dealing with the hypervigilance. And hypervigilance in policing is a state where you have a constant heightened state of alertness. Sometimes when you're off duty, you have not what do you call it now?
De-stressed?
De-stressed and so on before you're required to go back on duty. And you're in that constant state. So if you're not careful, that officer is prone to make mistakes. That officer will be highly strung. That officer, but first of all, gets ill. It can lead to illness. And I've seen in a number of our police officers in Jamaica who were found dead, slumped over their steering wheel. So it's a high, and it's something we have to recognize and pay a little more attention to. And I'm glad the Prime Minister raised it in a speech he made very recently.
I want to play something here, a video here. I want to play this video here.
3 years. 655 lives lost after encounters with Jamaica's security forces. Behind every number is a mother who never stopped waiting at the gate, a child left asking why daddy never came home, a sister forced to identify a body instead of planning a future. From 2023 to 2025, the bloodshed rose sharply, 155 killed, then 189, then a heartbreaking 300,025 alone. The numbers climbed, but so did the grief. Among the dead were at least 60 people struggling with mental illness, sons and daughters, who often needed care, compassion, and protection, but instead became statistics. In communities across Kingston, the sound of sirens and gunfire has too often replaced peace. Families say goodbye in the morning, not knowing it may be forever. For some Jamaicans, the Jamaica Constabulary Force represents safety. But for others, their story ends with yellow tape, unanswered questions, and funerals no family was prepared for. This is more than data. These are broken homes, empty chairs, silent phones. A country mourning names that should never have been reduced to numbers. And somewhere in Jamaica tonight, another mother is praying her child.
Commissioner, I want to ask you to elaborate on this. But what I want to say to you first, though, is this. 60 people was unalived who have mental illness. Is this correct?
I don't know. I don't know if the figures are correct. If I was to believe Dr. Freddie Hicklin, some years ago, he made a remark that 1/3 of us are suffering from some kind of mental illness.
Yes.
So every time you see 3 persons, one of them have a mental illness problem. The question is, I suppose, the severity of it and how it manifests itself. Yes. I know it's a question that has raised grave concern here as to how do you treat with these persons. And I know it's something that has concerned the police because it comes to use of force and it talks about use of non-lethal methods,
yes,
etc., etc. And by the way, this is one of the jobs that the police also has, because you're going to call the police about somebody who's mentally ill. And quite frankly, apart from restraint and so on, they're not really fully qualified to treat with such persons. So it is a challenge, but that was a bit of a dramatic video, and it may be factual. It may be factual, but let us not leave out in all the tear jerking and the drama and so on the fact of how many citizens have been killed by criminals, and add to that number and their families and their grief as well. So those are 2 sets now of Jamaicans who are being killed.
Right, yes.
Right. Then you have a third. Then you have a third set now. We have to look at the numbers who are being killed on the roads.
Yes.
By carelessness. And so I would love to see the person do another video and put in all those numbers for balance.
True.
Because every single life has a grieving family, relatives, people, funerals, etc., etc., etc. I remember making this point that I think at my very first press conference back in 2007, December, there's too much bloodshed in the country. Criminals are killing too many. Police are killing too many criminals, and all of us are killing too many of us on the roads.
Yes.
So somehow we have to, I don't know, it was really an appeal for us to focus on that and see where do we go? Where do we go with all of this? So that really is my general comment, because we would not look at one set and not look at the other.
Yes. how do can you explain to the Jamaican people, to our viewers and listeners who are listening to us from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean and the Make We Talk program and Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station, how does the police calculate that crime is done? A lot of Jamaicans are saying, even the diaspora here is saying, no, sir, lie and tell it, no crime, no done. As a former commissioner of police, can you tell us how you all calculate that?
Well, I'll tell you a very interesting story. On my watch, we introduced a system that when you go to the police station to report an incident, you get a receipt.
Yes.
And within 3 months, there's a serious spike in crimes, robberies, break-ins, etc., 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 etc. And we said, what the dickens is going on? And you know what it was? It was just better reporting.
Oh.
Because people are now getting a receipt. People would just not ignore it. They would come to the station and report it. So it was better reporting. So it was much lower than it actually was at the time. So that was the conclusion after we analyzed it. I don't have an issue with the figures that are put out by the police. They categorize them. I have no reason to doubt what is being put out, and they look at it in the various categories. So yes, clearly homicides are down. 23% on last year, and last year about this time it was, as I said in that article, 40-something%. And that's good news. Police fatal shootings gone up. I think deaths by traffic accident is about where it was last year. So I have no reason to doubt the figures.
How do you, or can you tell us on your watch, how many cold cases that you had left behind? And do you know how much cold cases is still on the books in Jamaica?
No.
Why I ask this question, sir? You know, let me not go down that road but because there's people that I know who has family members who until now haven't gotten justice, and you hear nothing more from the JCF.
Well, let me put it this way. I don't know what the figures are in any major country, first world country, and so on. I will only say that when I became commissioner, there was a little team looking at cold cases, and I really wanted to ramp up that team and bring in some retired persons. We really couldn't spare a current person, but they would go through the files and to find little areas. They would not do any investigations themselves. They would just interrogate all the files. And if they see a little area, put it back on the list for the detectives to pursue and to see if we could get anywhere with it. I wasn't around long enough to see that get anywhere too fast. But I cannot give you how many. Look, I have a cold case myself. My mother was murdered on the 30th of June, 1990. Shot and killed in Notorious on a visit from New York. Landed at Donald Sangster International Airport. And in 4 hours, she was dead.
Jesus Christ.
No suspect. No nothing. That's it. So I know, I know what it is.
Yeah, because I don't want to dig up any old wounds. But,
No.
You know, it's hard for Admiral. It is very hard to know that you have loved ones who, especially people who are very close to you, who lost their mother, just like how you lost your mother under tragic circumstances. It's very hurtful. Very. In all of this, though, former commissioner, the young people who are coming up in our society now, sir. Young people who believe that scamming is the order of the day. And from you have a AK-47 can throw over the wall, or a Glock or a Magnum. They believe that they're king. What is the JCF? You know what the JCF is doing now to really rid the streets of Jamaica of gun?
You know, you're dragging me into too much speaking for the JCF in areas where I'd rather the JCF speak for themselves.
Okay, let me rephrase the question then.
Well, I would say one thing.
Okay.
The gangs, as they're classified, have been targeted.
Yes.
Right now, there's a major case going on with a major gang out of Spanish Town. And after a few missteps some years back in a matter of gang trials and the lessons learned, the justice system has been tweaked adequately, where it is now bearing fruit. It has borne fruit. So in terms of going after gangs, I think there might be 20-something persons being, don't quote me on that number, but
Yes.
a large number of gang members being put through the courts. And the police have paid some special emphasis on getting evidence, going after the gangs, and putting them before the courts. And the prosecutorial services have been working very good at that with them.
Let me go back to INDECOM. In your time, do you believe that your officers or your team work well with INDECOM? And do you believe that they're doing it now same way?
There was no INDECOM in my time. In fact, INDECOM was, look, I always say, you know, INDECOM is a creature that was created because the police did a poor job of policing themselves. Right? And INDECOM was born out of a campaign promise from Mr. Bruce Golding.
Okay.
And so when he became prime minister, the move to establish INDECOM started on my time. But I never saw it through to conclusion. So INDECOM is a good concept, but let me give you something I cited yesterday. You know, there's a case of a police shooting. A police shot a busman, a bus driver on Spanish Town Road, about somewhere around 7 a.m. And at 4 p.m., same day,
yes,
the head of the Bureau of Special Investigation, the BSI, who was charged with the investigation of police conduct, the head of it was in my office with a letter from the DPP saying, prosecute. Same day.
So quick?
Less than 12 hours. So the point I am making, things can be made to work. Things can be made to work. It requires some grit, guts, and determination. It can be made to work.
So
that's the old BSI that was vilified, etc., etc.
So, Commissioner, former Commissioner, you you said that to me now. I'm gonna ask you this question then. Then why is it taking so long for them to charge this police officer for Buju's death then?
Well, there's a thing, you see. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you the circumstances of the case that I outlined.
Yes.
I can't tell you that. Because even with the camera, I can't tell you. Fact of the matter is, this case, you've got to be careful. Don't forget that immediate action, well, quick action was taken, where the officer was taken off frontline duties, or interdicted, or whatever it was. So, proper procedure. But there's a thing that we have where before you arrest and charge a police officer, you have to get a ruling from the DPP's office. Now, I cannot understand, etc., etc. Because as my view, and I'm not discussing this particular case now, if you're out there with a policeman and he breaks the law, the policeman next to him should arrest him right away.
I like how you say that.
But yeah, so but you have this rule where the thing is investigated. By the way, it is a privilege not accorded to the regular civilians. They are arrested and investigations are done.
Repeat that again, sir.
They are arrested. A civilian is arrested in many cases because an offense is suspected to have been committed or committed, and is put in a slammer, and then the investigation is then completed. In the case of the police, there's a tendency to complete the investigation, send the file to the DPP, who goes to the file and makes a ruling that the policeman is to be charged.
Isn't that a different law?
I think it's in something, and again, don't quote me on that, but there's something, it might be a little archaic, in the book of rules or something affecting the police.
Oh. Do you believe, because a lot of Jamaicans believe that it should not be only one officer be interdicted, or what they want to call it. It should be all of them, because all of them was there.
Why do you say that?
Because they were on an operation. One person pulled their service revolver, and the other was there. So why is it that only one person pulled the service revolver and point the gun towards the citizen?
No, that's very unfair. Look how fast the thing unfolded.
Okay.
You're going to say that Jeffrey Tavares was there talking to the driver over there, doing another, and because you're on the scene, you get arrested?
All of us was there.
What have you done?
That's true. You have a point there. Commissioner, as I know,
that's almost a little kind of guilty by association.
We're Admiral Hardley. He's our special guest on the Make We Talk program tonight. We're speaking about his, he wrote an article in the Gleaner. He was telling us over 5 years now since you wrote that article, sir?
No. I wrote the article 1 year ago.
1 year ago, yes.
In the Jamaica Observer, entitled "Those Police Fatal Shootings," and all I did yesterday was quoted extensively from that same article. 1 year ago, it never kicked up a rumpus.
No, today kicking up rumpus.
No, I am packing my bags to go exile myself in Goat Island.
But you don't want to go to Goat Island now, sir. Can anybody go to Island?
Don't worry, it's a lovely place. It's a former U.S. naval station. There's a nice place on the crest of the hill, and
you love it there.
I probably will have a chance to do a little cooling out while the dust settled. It's happened before, so I am quite used to it. The thing though, and let me comment, is I do have the time.
Yes, go ahead.
It's the level of debate and discussion that we have in Jamaica on issues.
Yes.
Where particular lines are taken by our own biases, etc., and there's no objectivity. So immediately you say something, you're over there. You're one of them.
Yes.
Because it sounds even mildly critical of another. And it's something I observe, I notice. It's nothing new, but I just say, look, you cannot be perturbed by these. Truth is critical. And I just want to say something which I did in that article and I repeated yesterday, where I addressed police officers. Because believe you me, policing is a noble profession. I was there. I have many friends there. I made many friends. And when I tell people that my 1 year and 10 months as commissioner, I enjoyed it. Some people think I'm mad. I genuinely did. But in that article I wrote to the police, never in your history have you had the number of officers that you now do. Never in your history have you been so well resourced with the tools of your trade, with promises of more to come. Never before in your history have you had so many well-educated and highly trained gazetted officers and rank and file. You do not have to resort to any form of quick fixes, howsoever popular and seemingly effective, if it violates the laws you're sworn to uphold. Play by the rules. Criminals do not, and that is what makes them criminals. If you play outside the rules, it makes you a criminal also. Remember, those who glorify and worship you today will be amongst the first to abandon you to save their skins when things go wrong. And in another part, I said the recent success of our security forces, massive reduction in murders, in drastically reduced murder, is welcome and celebrated by many Jamaicans. As we celebrate, however, we must be mindful that we may be merely driving criminality deeper underground and into greater sophistication. Any policing strategy that employs a tactic of elimination will force the criminal element to lie dormant for a period. And then the answer to this should be the focus of the minds of our well-educated and highly trained security personnel. And I say this in the article for what it worth to the members of the force, whom I hold dearly, in the difficult task that they have.
So did you enjoy more with the JCF than the JDF?
No, I'm not going to compare two different things, two different times. I cannot compare 36 years with 1 year and 10 months.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
I joined one as a teenager.
Yes,
I was
the JDF.
17 and a half.
Yes.
And I left it at 54. A big, mature, etc., etc. And then going to the police now was to me, it was a pleasure. I actually enjoyed it, despite all the things and whatever anyone has to say. I have a lot to say about policing, but that's maybe one day we'll pick it up elsewhere.
Rear Admiral, I had the pleasure of meeting you through a good friend of mine who's your good friend, Dr. Sidney Avila Banks from Cayman.
Yes.
And I have the utmost respect for you, and I still do. Because when I listen to you speak, sir, before I met you, I listened to you speak as Commissioner of Police. And I think you have garnered the respect of many Jamaicans. The way how you operate within the JCF as Commissioner of Police, and the way how you speak to the Jamaican people. I lift my hat to you, sir, because not because I know you through Dr. Banks, why I have the respect for you. It's because the way how I see you present yourself when there's a crisis, when the JCF in a sense, and you will talk to the Jamaican people. With respect?
You know, sir, there's that easy thing, truth. Try to speak truth. And it is one of the most inconvenient things.
Yes. To
a vast majority of people. But my mantra is in, if I get the reference correct, it's in Proverbs 3:10, I think it is, which says, the integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. And I leave it there.
As we leave tonight, do you have any more thing to say? I mean, I can give you more time if you want to, sir. Let me know.
No, I think I have been I have been balanced in my presentations.
Yes.
I have acknowledged all the good work that have gone in, the investments that have been made. I try to do that. I give a view on many things that I see going wrong. I don't do it willy-nilly. And most times I go down a program or so on because I'm invited, because I don't have any agendas. But I suppose I am a little blunt. And
because I have been trying to get in my program from a long time, you know.
Oh, well, how did you manage so quickly this time? All right.
I don't know if I'm Ambassador Loom end up, you know.
No, my schoolmate.
Yes. She told me you two went to school together in first form.
Yes, in first form. Then she ran away to another school in Kingston.
Yes.
Yes.
I
think we've had a good run this evening.
Yes, as we go, you're welcome, sir. As we go off air now, though, I want you to speak to your Jamaican people as former commissioner of police and speak to the people in the Jamaican diaspora, sir.
Wow. Well, I would say, my fellow Jamaicans, we have problems all over, wherever you are. They are different problems in different places. For those of you who, for whatever reason, which I'm sure are good and wholesome, choose to live elsewhere, I know that you have made us all proud. And from your distant shores, wherever you are in the distance, you continue to contribute. You have an abiding love in Jamaica. And I do hope that with your help, we can, I wouldn't even say, create a utopia, because it's going to happen, but at least we can roll the pitch. There's a Chinese proverb which says, it doesn't matter how low you get. The question, and what is important, is in what direction are you going? Are we still sinking deeper, or are we going, or are we rising? So the question is, we have to ensure that we are rising, and we try and catalyze that so we rise faster somewhere downstream. But it's to us generation, and to you, and have some courage. We have to have courage.
Yes.
Because without that, we must not be cowed by anybody. Cannot afford to be cowed by anybody. Because if we do that, well, we must accept whatever comes from being cowed. So Jamaica is still the best place to live. Do look at it carefully. Come on a visit, check everything out, see that you can manage everything when you're ready.
Yes. Yes.
But you'll find that when you can get up, leave your house, go down the road, play a game of domino, go to the usual places. But don't ever make the mistake of believing that the Jamaica you left, if you haven't been here for a while, is the same place you're coming back to.
Totally different.
Which is why I say, come spend a little time, ensure that you can manage it.
You know what I miss, Admiral Lewin? I miss the idea that I could jump in a car and go over to the officers club or over by the JDF and have a drink of the good old distill of the drunk row. You know, I miss that I could jump in a car and just go down to Elsh and have some fish and have a drink of Appleton and Pepsi, Appleton and something. That's what I truly miss, because I believe that the rum in Jamaica is different from the rum anywhere else in the world you go. It's the same rum, you know, but they have a different taste.
It's probably environment.
Yes,
it's probably environment. It's probably environment. But no, it's you know, you have to, whatever you're doing, you got to enjoy it, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday I was in Kingston Harbor racing a yacht, right? After I had that presentation in the morning and so on. So, you know, I had to switch out of the morning seriousness and get now into yacht racing in the evening before coming home. So, hey, look.
Yes. I thought you had finished. I thought you had stopped racing yet, though, Commissioner.
No. I can't do that. We just started a series, which is a regular scheduled series on every Wednesday called the Sundowner Series. So the race starts at 5:15 and we're finishing at about sunset.
Okay.
And then we gather at the clubhouse.
From Kingston Harbor to where?
No, it's in Kingston Harbor, but we have some marks that we race around.
Oh, okay.
So these are all inside the harbor.
Okay.
But great fun.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we had with us here former Commissioner of Police, former Chief of the Jamaica Defense Staff, Admiral Lewin, who came on the program for the first time. I know him a long time ago, but it's the first time having him on the program, and it's been a pleasure having him on the program. I want to say thank you very much, sir, for coming on.
Thank you, sir. My pleasure. And good night to all your listeners, wherever they are in the world.
Indeed. Say hello to your wife for me, sir. I'm having the pleasure of meeting her also.
I certainly will.
Yes, sir. Thanks much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. That's Rear Admiral Lewin for coming on the program here tonight. Former Commissioner of Police, who came on to speak to us on issues that has many Jamaicans asking questions, and he wrote an article a year ago. And now it is creating a buzz in the atmosphere and in the country of the land of wood and water, Jamaica. He can't speak about where our beach is. He has nothing to do with the beaches. For those who want to call in to ask to give your input on his conversation tonight with us, you can call 954-529-8030. That's 954-529-8030. You can call in on that to speak to give your views on what the former Commissioner of Police said. I think he came on. Will we get another former Commissioner of Police on? We don't know. We're going to work on that to hear their views on issues facing our country. Now you hear that. Let me take this off here. Yes. It has been a great evening so far. Great evening. The number to call is 954-529-8030. 954-529-8030. Yes, Jeffrey, you did your independent journalism. Oh, thank you very much. Did I? I thought I was being biased. Thank you very much. Let me put up the telephone number here on the screen. Run across the screen here. Where is the number? Here is the number. That's the number there, 954-529-8030. It's also a WhatsApp number. 954-529-8030. That's the number to call on the program here tonight. For those who on TikTok, thank you for joining us. Thank you all very much. We had more people on TikTok. Now we've gone down to little and nothing, but that's okay. Thank you all very much. You like up the feed. Thank you all very much. 954-529-8030. That's the number to call. We want to say condolence to Miss P on the passing of her son. Condolence to her. And condolence to Latora Bulgen, a.k.a. Bujo. Her sons is mourning the loss of their mother, Latoya Bulgen. I pray and hope that God in His mercy will comfort them, and that no more Jamaicans must face the shooting or the unaliving of their mother or their loved ones by the security forces in this country. Should not happen. And we must all, as Jamaicans, don't wait until certain things reach our doorstep before we do anything about it. It cannot be that way. What we need to do as Jamaicans is to get up, organize ourselves, and speak out. As what the former commissioner of police just said to us here in the diaspora need to speak out. One moment, please. One moment. One moment, please. Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good night. Turn off TV in the background, please. Hello? Yes, yeah, go ahead, please.
Yes, good night, man. I sit here and listen to the interview from start to finish.
I can hardly hear you, sir, because you're being muffled. I can hardly hear you.
No, I said I listen to the program from start to finish.
Yes, sir. What's your take on it?
And it was very good.
All right, sir.
Very good. You answered the question very right, and you were adamant to ask him some serious question. And he did answer you in the right and proper way, and I appreciate it a lot. I am from the Green. I know you a lot, but I'm living in Canada. Blessing every time, sir, and respect every time to you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. The number to call is 954-529-8030. That's 954-529-8030. That's the number to call. It's also a WhatsApp number. 954-529-8030. Good night, Meko Talk. You're live, Miss P. Go ahead.
Good night.
Hello?
Good night, Meko Talk family. Hello?
Yes, sir. Good. Sorry. Yes, ma'am. Good night. Go ahead, Miss P.
Good night, ma'am. I'm take you with a good show.
Thank you.
And I want to say big up to Mr. Hardley. Yeah, that gentleman in his time, the force was very good. But they find this and that, yes, nobody's perfect, but it was much better. Police officers used to hold accountable. So when things go wrong, we used to get our satisfaction. Yeah, look at this guy, we are human, no matter what where you serve, but it never stay like this. Never, ever. And as he say, he's one of them who bring in the receipt something. And a true, if you go to the civil and make a report, then give you a receipt to keep that receipt. That is yours.
True.
To show when the time is right. So with that, good show, Jeffrey, continue to do what you do and do it best. And you and others as make our eyes open. And for me especially, you have opened doors for me. Regardless, I'm now grieving the passing of my son. It has licked me so hard, Jeffrey. I've never experienced nothing like this. And I don't know how I went to the doctor today and said my pressure high. Very high, but I didn't. But now give me a pressure tablet because I have pressure. It's because I've took money that now.
Miss P, I can't tell you not to worry yourself over it because how dare me. But I've lost my mother. I'll give you the episode. I lost my daughter April of the year before. I lost my brother the year before my father. I lost my auntie the same year, this year since my mother died. My auntie died before her. That's her sister. And in March, my mother passed away. Plus other issues that I may be facing. But at the end of the day, I can't tell you not to worry or not to do anything because my pressure has been going up and down from ever since all this has been going on with me. All I can say to you, my dear, is to pray and ask God to guide you through it. Thank God he wasn't gunned down by any gunman or anything like that. We give God thanks for that. And we thank God for the JCF members who assist him.
Yes, I know, God.
Yes.
Big up. That is the reason why, Jeffrey, I said you have some super good law abiding police officers
Yes.
who do their job and do it diligently and creatively.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden, the force has been inflated with some gang bang in a blue suit. Mighty God. Because those officers, if they could save my son, he would be alive today.
Yes, yes.
They have done their best. They move swiftly. They've done everything that they possibly could have done. And I salute you. And to all the good police law-abiding officers, man and woman, I salute you. And we all love you. We all love the police force because you keep us safe. However, we know you're under pressure of the bad ones, them who are affiliated, politically connected, and then just carry them through the back door. And may I tell you, not happy because everybody take the one brush and paint everybody. But we salute you, guys. And we ask you to continue. And I want to say to you again, thank you very, very much. Very much. Yes, Jeffrey. Why? Jamaica keep. Jamaica, I want to know a content writer them they make a movie. You know, here say, here, buddy, upon your program in a watching.
Yes.
Where you are permanent secretary, you call it. Say the money. Gone back to pay down country debt.
What money?
People are suffering. The hurricane, the donation money.
They can't use that for that.
In the hurricane money, the PAC man, when the lady said the money got like the money must have gone back. The money was pay the people. It must take it to pay down the country's debt, something like something like this.
That can't do that. That's craziness. I'm not aware of that.
Yes, man, upon for you and upon the pay, go back, go watch it. And listen carefully.
I will do that. Miss P, have a next call.
Go watch.
Call me back when you're done. Call me back.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Good night. Make we talk here live.
Hi, Jeffrey. How you doing?
East Kingston and Port Royal. Good night. How you doing?
But I'm there now. They're under the sinus, mommy. Sinus, I give me no bargain for.
Same with me. Sometimes my allergies act up.
Yeah, tell me, Miss still there?
No, I have to let her hang up to take the call.
Oh, okay. But I never hear all of what Mr. Lewin was saying. Never really get to sit down and listen, but me can go back go listen. Yeah, but Miss P, what I tell you said, be strong, my sister, be strong, you know. You know, see, it's not an easy road, but just be strong, my sister.
Yes, indeed.
Jeffrey, I would like, I don't know if you can pass on my number to Miss P. You know how long me ask for Miss P number until if you exchange the number for Miss P and for Ed Boy. Yes, I did an Ed Boy and now. Yeah, you're getting very young and you look very young too.
Yes.
You look like you going to White House today.
Me? No, man, I went to the Jamaica house.
Whatever.
Yes, and I gave them an ultimatum, and then it's either they do this or they do that.
Exactly.
I spoke to Uncle Andrew.
Yes. No, my nephew. You him to call you uncle. You're a big man for him. You for say nephew.
Two of us are the same age.
Yeah. Me not think so.
Why? Me look older
Me
than
not
him.
think so. Of course, you're a big man for him, and you're a boy.
No, man,
I'm a big man. I'm a big woman for Andrew.
No, Andrew have the younger Jeffrey behave yourself.
You have to mix up. That's what I'm to you. Yeah, see. But the other night, me hear you and look.
Go ahead.
So what you say?
No, he didn't hear me and look the one.
No, the other night, me hear you and Luke and my woman, the son. The one from a man to I was listening.
Yes.
I was listening. But what I'm saying, Jeffrey,
yes.
I me sit down and analyze and me look and me listen. With this young lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why everybody around out now? All Mark Shields.
What Mr. Shields said?
In the long run, him said, make the process take its course.
And I would say the same thing too.
Yeah, but another first, and at the first, the police, I first, somebody the police are kill.
No, it's not the first.
Okay, so make a turn Marvin. Where him did that?
You know.
Let me turn Marvin.
No, you
where
know,
was?
I am not taking up for Mr. Shields or anybody. But I would say it is clear to see what happened. But I would say let the police take its
let the law take its course.
Yes, I would say that too.
Right. I don't say is what he say is wrong. Me not say when say wrong, but me are asking when did they all along?
Well, ask Emily Shields.
That's the question. That no, me not say ask Emily Shields. Me ask him, Mark Shields.
Well,
where was
he has been vocal, you know. He has been very vocal on what is going on, you know.
I first miss him.
Well, I have seen him on other programs. I listened to him on other programs before, though.
I the first miss him. And the commissioner and the prime minister. Look how long people are called and I said, this is happening to them. This is happening in Jamaica by the security forces who is here to serve and protect. And is now, when I run out, it don't make any sense. It no look good, it no sound good, it no smell good.
On a human rights front, it don't look good at all. Point of view, it don't look good. It does not look good.
And it no smell good and it no sound good neither.
It smells stink.
Very stink. Very stink. And my argument is, before it happened to Bojo, Latoya, what is our last name? I can't remember. From down at Grandview. Right. In Montego Bay. How many before? Remember, said the 4-year-old where them killed, alleged by the police, is her relative. Nobody no come out, no prime minister, no commission never come out for that. No commission never come out for the 17-year-old. No commission never come out for the 2 guy where they killed a man about 3 Friday ago. Right in Mandeville Square. And I could go on and on and on. So why now? Why now everybody are going out?
You know,
we can't take Jamaican people for a bag of fool. Most of us.
You know something though, East Kingston and Port Royal.
Yeah, listen.
The Jamaican people, you know. When certain things reach the doorstep, they rebel.
Exactly.
But because you don't reach their doorstep, they don't say nothing. And that's
exactly.
That's the problem we face in this country, is Kingston and Port Royal. We need to come together as a people. We can't be so divided as the politics suggests at all.
Exactly. And it pains my heart. It pains my heart, Jeffrey. It pains my heart. It pains my heart. Right? And I'm asking the police officers, me know a good one in there, and me know the bad one. But the bad one, me ask you one question. Jeffrey, I me did have in there now, one left in there. Me say me can't dime for the day when we pack up. Because the Jamaica Constabulary Force is not what it used to be. You hear what I say?
Yes.
You know the kind of police that they have there now. Me don't know where them come from. Me don't know who them. Where them get for them training. Why them so haggish?
I don't know, my dear. For those who are just joining us, where this is the Make We Talk program. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Hold on for a minute. Remember, I take this call. East Kingston. I'll take this call. Come back in 2 minutes, please.
All right.
Good night, attorney at law. You're live on air.
I'm live for real?
Yes, you're live on air. So talk to the people about immigration.
Oh.
We're speaking.
Okay,
we're speaking to attorney at law Michelle Fangner. Is it pronounce your last name for me, Michelle, please?
Fanger.
Fanger from the Fanger Law Firm. She's an immigration lawyer, very good friend of mine. Michelle, speak to the people of the new immigration policies as affecting Caribbean nationals.
A lot is happening, but what I always want people to understand is that what's happening with the administration now is that they're enforcing laws that were on the books that were not really being enforced. So they shouldn't be alarmed with all that's being mentioned. People can still adjust their status. The major thing that happened was the new changes in regards to adjustment of status. And individuals are concerned to say that in thinking that they cannot adjust status because this rule would apply. And what is the new rule?
Mm-hmm.
The new rule is not a new rule, as I said. This law existed, but they have made a little changes to it, which they did allow certain individuals to adjust in the United States. For instance, if you were married to a U.S. citizen, you were able to adjust in the United States. That means you could do your petition and your adjustment of status package, you would have to leave the country. But other categories would have to leave. Say, for instance, if you're a green card holder, or if you were a child, you would have to leave the U.S.
Hold on for me, Michelle. What you're saying that if you're a green card holder, you have to leave?
Yeah, that's always been the case. You'd have to go to do the consular process. The only thing is that you could do a waiver. So, once you get the waiver, it allows you to just go out of the country to do your interview and return, and you wouldn't be barred.
So, Michelle, for those who have a 2-year temporary green card and going to get the whatever lifted, they have to leave the country too?
No, that doesn't apply to you guys. You basically have your green card, although it's temporary. Okay. So this does not apply to you individuals, because when you're doing your process, you're just removing the conditions.
Okay.
All right? The conditions that restrict you to the 2-year requirement.
Okay.
These new changes is for those who are trying to get their green card, whether it's the temporary or the 10-year. All right? So that's what I see. A few people ask me that same question, and that's a big difference.
Okay.
So for those individuals, what administration, their main thing that they want to do is discourage individuals from overstaying their visa, from changing statuses. So that is what this new measure, why it's been implemented. So who is being affected by it is that those who have student visas and visitor visas and certain other work visas. They're saying that we won't allow you to adjust because these are temporary statuses and you have to leave the United States to sort out your issue. One thing that arises is that you could tell it's to prevent you from overstaying, because if you do overstay, right, and you have to leave the country, you know you're barred from coming back.
Is that so?
Because, when you overstay, you're barred.
Oh.
So it depends on how long you overstay. It could be 3 years, a 3-year ban, or a 10-year ban. So that's going to cause a problem with people going to have to try to do the waiver, which does take a little bit of time to be processed for them to possibly come back. But what they did say is that although they're implementing this policy, they have exceptions. So if you have extraordinary circumstances, they will allow you to stay and adjust. They haven't outlined the exceptions fully of the extraordinary exceptions, but they did say it is really up to the officers that are reviewing your case to see if they will allow you to adjust here. So it's really up to the officers. So to me, you have to present a strong enough case to show that also you're not going to be a burden on the government.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not going to go on certain benefits and getting certain assistance if you stay. Right?
I want the listeners and viewers to know something, that as of Monday next week, Michelle will be our host, immigration attorney at law, who will come on the program and speak to us about immigration problems that you may have in the United States here. So if you need an immigration lawyer, there's one going to be in the Make We Talk program from now on. As of Monday coming, this Monday coming, she will be on the program for about 15, 20 minutes, whatever. It depends on what time she can come on. She's going to be on the program. And she's going to speak.
Just set that time. Just set that time.
I will. She's going to come on the program to speak to us about immigration issues that you may be facing. Michelle, before you go, I know you're coming to talk to me off air, but before you go, because, you know, I know you're coming to talk to me what time I want you on the program. But you called when I was on the program anyhow. But Michelle, before you go, talk to us about children who want to come to the United States and their mother and father. Let's say the mother is a U.S. citizen, but the father is a Jamaican citizen. How does that work?
Okay. One of the things is that, was the child born at the time the father was a U.S. citizen, or did the father get his citizenship after?
After.
Oh, after the child was born?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the first things, though, they would have to do is file for the child to get their status.
Okay.
The petition. But what will happen is that once they do get the green card, then they could apply for them to become a U.S. citizen.
Oh, okay.
Once they get the green card. So that's the best option. You'll have to do that process. If the child was born and the father was a citizen or the mother was a citizen before the child was born, then that child would have been a U.S. citizen. Just a child born abroad. And then it's just a simple step to establish, get their certificate to show that they are a U.S. citizen and they get their passport. Or they could get the passport and after get the certificate. But right now, it's encouraged that all children who do arrive citizenship through a parent get their certificate, not just the passport. Because with the passport, they don't really fully do a thorough review of your case to see if you are in fact a U.S. citizen. The certificate does establish that you are a citizen. Because I've had in the past where individuals have the passport, trying to join the military, and realize there's something amiss in their citizenship, so they have to go get the certificate.
Okay.
So I also recommend that parents go ahead and get the certificate. And I also recommend too, like, although your child might be considered a U.S. citizen, I also recommend to go ahead and get their citizenship if they only have a green card. Because what you don't want is that the child get into any issues and they're just a green card holder. Because, you know, as a green card holder, quick way to deportation and stuff. Although if they go through deportation and they actually kind of can establish that through the court that they're a citizen. But to prevent any headache, I recommend people go ahead and get the certificate so the child can have it in the event. Because, you know, children do make dumb mistakes sometimes in the rough road. And you don't want to jeopardize them. So you're kind of protecting them. So I would recommend that parents do that. Once a child is a green card holder, go ahead and get their citizenship once they qualify.
All right, Michelle, we got to run. I want to say to you, thanks for calling in. Call me back. We can arrange the time for you to come on. As I said before, Michelle will be our resident attorney at law, immigration attorney at law in the Make We Talk program as of Monday coming. Every Monday night she'll be coming on to speak to us about immigration issues. So I want to say pardon me?
No, I said if they want to reach out to me, they could give me a call at 904-480-6612.
A little slower, Michelle. A little slower. Number
Okay,
again,
my telephone number is 904-480-6612.
again, please, slower.
904-480-6612.
And your name and the law firm, please.
My name is Michelle Fanger, and the name of my law firm is the Fanger Law Firm, PLLC.
There you go. That's Michelle Fanger. She will be our resident attorney at law as of Monday coming. I want to say thank her for calling. She called to talk to me privately to ask me what is she going to come on the air, and I end up putting her on the program here.
Live. I was so unprepared.
I know you were. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
That's all right.
Yes.
That's all right. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
Same to you, Michelle. Thanks for calling in.
Oh, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's Michelle, their attorney at law, immigration lawyer. As I said, she's going to be our resident attorney at law, immigration attorney at law, as of Monday night coming. All right? Thank you all very much. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeffrey Tavares saying thanks to former Commissioner of Police, former Chief of the Jamaica Defense Force, Admiral Hardley Lewin. Thanks to the producers of this program, Mario, the man of the moment. I am Jeffrey Tavares saying so long. Until you hear my voice again, may God bless you. May God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Good night, everyone.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk.